Jeff Paur, senior writer for RealTime Fantasy Sports, and welcome to another edition of the RealTime Fantasy Sports Show. On today's show, I'm going to analyze another draft that took place on our site. This time, I'm going to look at a best ball championship draft. This is best ball championship 5494. This took place last night on our draft. That's Wednesday night, August 18th, was the night of this best ball championship. A lot of great picks in this draft, a lot of great owners. I want to talk about this best ball championship, though, before I get into the analyzing of the draft. First of all, best ball championship, just an awesome championship on our site. It's just $20 to get in for a chance to win $50,000. There's league prizes as well as overall grand prizes. They're 10-team leagues, 24 rounds. Drafts take about 75 minutes per draft. They go off every night, all different times. So get in one of these best ball championships today. It's just a great chance to win a lot of money for a good price. Just $20 to get in. You can win $50,000. Not a lot of contests pay out this high for such a cheap price. So I get in one of these best ball championships sooner than later. They're filling up quick. Just go to rtsports.com, click on the best ball championship link at the top of the page, and you can sign up for a best ball championship today. All right, let's talk about this best ball championship now. It's best ball championship 5494. Again, here's the rules for this. You start a quarterback, running back, two receivers, a tight end, kicker, defense, and flex. And it's best ball, so that means the best lineup is put into your lineup. The best lineup possible is put in every week after the games are played. So you don't have to do any work during the season. You just draft, and then we set your lineup the rest of the way. It's 24 rounds as well, so a lot of players get picked. It goes quick, though. Let's talk about this draft, though. I'll show you the draft board here. You can look at it, and you can get your own thoughts as well. But here's some things that stood out to me. First of all, Devontae Adams, he was picked 5th overall in this draft. That's pretty soon, but again, it's just 10 teams. It's just a 10-team league, so you can maybe go sooner on receiver, still get a good running back in the second round if you want to go that route. There was actually 3 non-running backs picked in the first round. Travis Kelce went 7th overall. Again, I like to look at where Kelce goes in drafts. He went 7th overall here to the Pepe team. That's Brian Lapidus. He took Travis Kelce, and then he actually went receiver in the second round as well with Stephon Diggs. Still got 2 pretty good running backs, J.K. Dobbins and Miles Sanders. The other running back to get picked in the first round was Tyreek Hill. He went with the 9th pick to the BBC 818 team. That's Dustin Lehman. So again, 3 non-running backs were picked in the first round. But every team in the draft actually had a quarterback on the roster after 8 rounds. Patrick Mahomes was the first quarterback picked. He was picked in round 3. Another interesting pick to me was CeeDee Lamb. He was picked as the 8th receiver off the board. The football team 2, Jeff Johnson, took CeeDee Lamb in the 3rd round. 8th receiver off the board. He's seeming to be gaining value at this point. CeeDee Lamb, a lot of buzz around him right now, and he's moving up draft board. So if you want him, you got to act quick, and that's what Jeff Johnson did here and took CeeDee Lamb in the 3rd round. That's the highest I've seen him go yet. Top 10 receiver was the way that Jeff Johnson drafted CeeDee Lamb in this one. Like I said, every team had a quarterback on the roster after 8 rounds. Tight end position, 3 tight ends were picked in round 6. 6 of the 10 teams had a tight end after round 6. Dizzy was the last team to take a tight end. He waited longer than a lot of the other teams. He went with Irv Smith in round 11. Pretty good value if you ask me, getting Irv Smith in round 11. I think he definitely has a chance to be a number 1 tight end. He took 3 tight ends, and although Dizzy, he got Eric Ebron and Hayden Hurst. So he'll look for one of those guys to go off each week. He waited on the tight end position. I still think he did pretty well. All but one team, that's the NAB 5 team, has 3 quarterbacks in this draft. I like to talk about strategy with these best ball formats, see what teams are doing. So looks like here 9 of 10 teams thought 3 quarterbacks was a good play. That's the way I like to run things. So all but one team, NAB 5, had 3 quarterbacks, and one team even drafted 4. That was football team 2. He took Josh Allen. He has Baker Mayfield, Ben Roethlisberger, and Sam Darnold as well. So he actually took 4 QBs. And tight end position, similar to the quarterback one. How many do you take? Every team has at least 3 tight ends except one, once again. So just one of the 10 teams does not have 3 tight ends. That's the Renegades team. They did not take 3 tight ends. They have Darren Waller and Mike Gesicki. So he went early on a tight end, took Darren Waller in the 3rd round, ended up with a really good one. And then he took Gesicki, but he didn't take another tight end with the rest of his picks, 24 picks. He has just 2 tight ends on his roster. Feeling pretty good about Waller is the reason most likely that Renegades did not take a 3rd tight end. Let's talk about kickers and defenses. Normally we wouldn't take 2 kickers, 2 defenses in most leagues. In these best ball formats, that's likely the case for most of these teams that they do that. All but one team took 2 defenses and 2 kickers, and just the one team that didn't take 2 kickers was football team 2. He has 2 defenses, but he did not take 2 kickers. He has just 1 kicker on his team. So all but one team in this best ball format took 2 defenses and 2 kickers. Just kind of interesting to look at that and see how people stack their rosters for these best ball formats. It's a little different. So if you haven't played in them, I would highly suggest a lot of fun, different draft strategies. So that's how this one played out. I thought there was a lot of great teams in this best ball championship, 5-4, 9-4. But I'm going to tell you 2 teams I'm like. I'm just going to say 2 this time because there's 10 teams in this league. And this is no particular order. I think both these teams are very good. Kind of stood out to me. The first one is football team 2. We talked about this Jeff Johnson team a little bit already. He took CeeDee Lamb in round 3, but I really like his first 2 picks. Ezekiel Elliott, Antonio Gibson as his running backs, and he has Josh Allen as his QB. So he has one of the top 2 quarterbacks to go with that very good running back duo. Chris Godwin at receiver, Mark Andrews, Raheem Mostert, Ronald Jones, Deebo Samuel, Tyler Boyd, Gus Edwards, Jonnu Smith, Marvin Jones, Malcolm Brown, Baker Mayfield, Damian Williams, Ben Roethlisberger, Blake Jarwin, Sam Darnold, Terrace Marshall Jr., Dimey Brown, the Chargers defense, Cardinals kicker, and Packers defense. I really like this team. I think he has great depth at receiver. I like a lot of his mid to late round picks. Marvin Jones is a guy moving up my draft board. Terrace Marshall's another guy I like a lot in Carolina. He got him late. He has 4 quarterbacks on his roster. I think he's going to get good production from that group on a weekly basis. Running back is very good. I think this football team 2 has one of the best ones in this draft. My other favorite team is the Dizzy team. He picked first. You definitely have your advantages when picking first, and I think Dizzy did well in stacking his roster. He took Christian McCaffrey first. Big surprise, right? Najee Harris was a 2nd-round pick, though. Then he got DK Metcalf, Mike Evans, Mike Davis, Aaron Rodgers, Kareem Hunt, Michael Thomas, Odell Beckham Jr., DJ Shark, Irv Smith Jr., Kenyon Drake, Jalen Waddle, Kirk Cousins, Eric Ebron, Colts defense, Chiefs kicker, Boston Scott, Watkins, Goff, Chiefs defense, Hurst, Saints kicker, and Randall Cobb. I think he has great depth at receiver and running back. I really like his running backs. He got Mike Davis in round 5. I think that's great value. Kareem Hunt in round 7 is good value as well. He got Michael Thomas as his 3rd receiver. Some risk there, but I think you can get away with that when you only start 2 and you have such good running backs on your roster already. He has Metcalf and Evans as his starting receivers. That's a great duo. Beckham definitely has big game potential. DJ Shark as well. He waited on tight end. I don't think he's going to get burnt by it because I like the way that the rest of his tight ends shake out. Irv Smith Jr., I think, could be very good. The only concern for me with Dizzy is I love his Aaron Rodgers pick. Kirk Cousins should be fine as well, and Jared Goff, but I don't love his reserve quarterbacks on his roster. But the rest of his team is really, really good. I don't think there's many better teams with running backs and receivers on the roster in this draft. So those are my 2 favorite teams for this best ball championship, 5-4, 9-4. I hope you get in one of these best ball championships today. Again, these leagues are going off every day, all different times. It's just $20 to get in, a chance to win $50,000. Drafts go very quick. Just 75 minutes is what they're averaging per night. They go quick, doesn't take a lot of your time. You got a chance to win big, and you don't have to manage your roster during the season. So get in one of these best ball championships today, and I look forward to bringing you another one of these analysis of these drafts in the coming days. This has been Jeff Paur for RealTime Fantasy Sports. Have a great day.